with enthusiasm to hear.
And good evening to one and all. I am CA Sukanya Halyar and I welcome everyone, each one of you, panelists and attendees on behalf of Pune branch of ICAI. Today we have with us CA Kashinath Pathare sir, who is the Vice Chairman of Pune branch of ICAI. Hello Kashinath sir, a warm welcome to you. And also along with Kashinath sir, we have today with us CA Amruta Kulkarni madam, who is MCM of Pune branch of ICAI. Hello Amruta ma'am, good evening. And today we have blessed with two dignitaries, dynamic and fabulous dignitaries with us. CA Aseem Trivedi. Let me introduce you. Before that, I would like Kashinath Pathare sir to please deliver the welcome speech.
Good evening.
Over to you, Kashinath sir.
Good evening, all of you. I once again welcome all of you for webinar on Code of Ethics. I personally thanks to Aseem Trivedi sir and Shraddha Dedhia madam for accepting last minute invitation. I also thanks all participants. Wish you happy learning. Thank you.
Amruta ma'am, I would request you to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Sukanya. Actually, we all are eager to hear from Aseem Trivedi sir. Basically, the code of ethics is nothing to learn. Even if it is a mandatory CP, it needs to be imbibed, and everyone has to be updated and upgraded about the latest trends. So, Shraddha is going to touch base on the digital branding as well. And Aseem Trivedi sir, back to the basics. When it comes to meta ethics, they all have to be imbibed with all the professionals. So, eager to hear from you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amrita ma'am. And we all know ethics is something which comes from within of an individual. But equally true is that the complexity which the world has acquired today has created need for the vigilant system for ethics for the profession. The code of ethics is a guidance course to the members of the profession. And to guide and give us the insights of the code of ethics, we have with us CA Aseem Trivedi sir. It gives me immense pleasure and honor to introduce you to all the attendees here. CA Aseem Trivedi, fellow member of ICAI, he is specially known in the country for his weekly column, Jama Punji, in Hindi National Daily Newspaper Patrika. He has vast experience in the field of Companies Act, internal audits, accounting and auditing standards, and currently working in training and implementation of IFRS and New Companies Act 2013. He is an author for the following books for CA students: Auditing and Assurance, Advanced Auditing and Professional Ethics, Company Law, Accounting Standard, and Ind AS. He is a nationwide known faculty for corporate and allied law, auditing, Ind AS, IFRS, business laws. He had delivered more than 1,200 seminars on ICAI platform. He is recognized national speaker on the topic of company law, accounting, and auditing standards and IFRS along with Companies Act in National Regional Conference of ICAI and in some prestigious college of India, including IIM. He hold post of Treasurer Secretary and Vice Chairman of Indore branch of CIRC of ICAI. He was a member of a task force to revise expert advisory opinions in 2000. He was a leader of a task force to revise guidance note on bank audit 2005. He was co-opted member for CASLB under Accounting Standard Board 2006. He was a trainer for technical standards on auditing under peer review board since 2007. He was convener of group constituted to convergence with IFRS under ASB 2010. He was appointed as a trainer for IFRS in ASB of ICAI in 2010. He was included as an expert and a special invitee of CALSB of ASB for formulation of accounting standard in 2011. He was appointed as a group leader to define the terms of accountancy by ASB in 2013. He was co-opted member at AASB of ICAI New Delhi 2014-15. He was a member of a task force to decide Ind AS for small and medium-sized companies 2015-16. He was coordinator of a group constituted to revise Code of Ethics 2009 by Ethical Standard Board of ICAI in 2017. He was a group leader at Indore in revising the Code of Ethics 2018. He was appointed as a trainer by ESB ICAI for faculty development program on code of ethics. He was appointed as a reviewer of new code of ethics by ESB of ICI in 2020. That was just amazing, sir. We cannot wait to hear from you. So without taking much time, I would like to hand over the session to you. Over to you, Aseem, sir.
Thank you very much. I think this is my first members seminar in Pune. Before that, I had been there once for student conference, and just after that, this COVID struck. I think at the beginning of the COVID and at the end of the COVID, I'm here. So hope so. That is to be. I wish that. So thanks Pune branch to invite me again on this particular seminar. Yesterday evening, I received a call that you have to take a seminar on code of ethics at Pune. So I cannot say no to Pune ever, because I have great memories with Pune. I've been there in Pune quite long. For 6 months, I had been there as I'm a disciple of the educationist, Mr. S.V. Zavre. I was there in 1994-95. At that time, I used to reside at Karve Road, and we used to go to the Adalka talkies for our movies. I have a lot of memories with me related to Deccan and all. So I love Pune, and I can't say no to Pune at any time if I'm not booked already. So thank you very much. It's always pleasure where you were there struggling for your chartered accountancy course, and today you are there to speak before the August gathering of Pune. Really, it is an immense pleasure moment for me. So thank you very much. And Pune is always having dynamic speakers with them, whether it is Zavre sir, whether it is Amrita, whether it is our Central Council members. Everyone is a great speaker. Hope I could justify myself for the subject which you have given me. We are today talking about code of ethics. And ethics, as I always says, that ethics is nothing but it's a line demarking the two extremes. One is known as need and one is known as greed. And need and greed are separated by this line, which is known as code of ethics. Code of ethics cannot be spellbound in any kind of a code. Ethics cannot be spellbound in codes. Ethics cannot be restricted in words. Ethics cannot be interpreted between the lines. Ethics is always to be inculcated in a very basic human values. So those values we must have as a chartered accountant. That's why here we are in code of ethics, and especially when we are in this digital marketing era, how much marketing is available to us, how much marketing avenues are available to us, how much marketing we can do within four corners of law. So we are all talking about this advertisement, and my fellow speakers after me will going to enlighten you how and how to go with marketing under these clauses. See, our profession has one line with us, one slogan is there in Code of Ethics since 1965, when first president of ours have came up with the GP Kapadia Sahab came up with his forward towards the member that a person must erect and should not be kept erect by others. A person must erect himself, not to be kept erected by others. And that is a tagline over which the whole marketing clauses have been developed there, whether it is clause number 5, whether it is clause number 6, whether it is clause number 7. we have all clauses with us where we are talking about. If you see code of ethics, so what is code of ethics? So it's nothing but compilation of all do's and all don'ts which are given under the Chartered Accountants Act 1949. If you go to code of ethics, you will find 3 volumes of ICAI. Volume 1 is known as ISBA Code of Ethics, that is called International Ethical Standards Board Ethics, and International Ethical Standard Board under the aegis of International Federation of Accountant IFAC have developed an international code for accountants who are practicing all over the world, and being a partner country, India is also there. So our members are required to follow those ethics which are given by the parent entity, that is called IFAC. So being a member of IFAC, we need to follow those code of ethics which are given. Now, important is those code of ethics are international code of ethics. How our member will going to follow those code of ethics? So we have made them specifically. When first time the IFAC code came in India in 2008, 2009, I was part of the Ethical Standard Boards Committee at that time. A long debate had been went on the topic that how our member will be abide by the international code, because we are bound by the Chartered Accountants Act 1949, and why we should follow the international code. But in the agreements of GATS and TRIPS and all, wherever there will be a quality measure, code of ethics is required to come at the first point and first place. So in that case, we were ought to follow those international standards. So at that time, it was decided that let's have volume 1 and volume A and volume B. Volume A will be treated as IFAC Code of Ethics, and volume B will be treated as Chartered Accountants Act 1949. It's Indian Code of Ethics. Then another question arose that how this volume A is required to be enforced to members. In what capacity that particular international code is required to be followed by the individual member of ICI. Then a suggestion came at that then President Page Jensam that let's go with the code of ethics like that. It should be Council General Guidelines. So mind it very carefully. The volume 1 of ours is a Council General Guideline, means Council Guideline. And if we are not following Council Guideline, it would also be a misconception. So a misconception has to be clarified at every level of our institute that volume 1 is not just a showpiece, it is International Code of Ethics. It is issued in such a manner that it bounds us also to follow that. We have to follow volume 1 also, and we have to follow volume 2 also. Now, if I go to volume number 1, volume number 1 is international code. Let us, today's topic is not going to deal with that particular code. Today we are at volume number 2. Under Chartered Accountants Act 1949, there is section 22. Section 22 says that disciplinary directorate can take action against member. So whenever a complaint or information received to director discipline will register a application, a complaint, and after registering a complaint, he should first analyze which kind of misconduct is there. When the question comes that which kind of misconduct we are talking about, so we have 2 schedules to section 22 of Chartered Accountants Act 1949, and those 2 schedules are the first schedule and the second schedule. First schedule is about minor offences, and the second schedule is about major offences. Why I am talking about I'm saying that this volume 1 is minor offence, because any act or any omission under part 1st of the code, that part 1st of the schedule, will lead an action against member, but that action will be, that hearing will be dealt by the smaller disciplinary authority, that is called Board of Discipline. And if a member does any act or omission which is mentioned under the second schedule, to which I quoted as major offense, it would be dealt by disciplinary committee, a bigger authority. So today, where we are talking about are the minor offenses. If you look at minor offenses and major offenses, you will find some synchronization, some logics. Let me give you some logics. Under the first schedule, part first, which is given for the chartered accountants in practice, we have 12 clauses. If you go through all 12 clauses, the first clause restricts us that we cannot allow any person to practice in our name, means we cannot open franchisees with chartered accountants. That so suppose I want to open up a franchisee of Aseem Trivedi all over India, and I am associating, I'm engaging chartered accountants who are hanging their own boards, and I'll say just hang my board and do practice. I can't allow them unless and until they are not my partners or my employee, and that too practicing chartered accountants. So that is called clause number 1, that you cannot allow. Clause number 2, you cannot share your fees. Clause number 3, you cannot accept share from the other's fees, barring some exceptions are there. Clause number 4 is about partnership. Clause number 5 is about securing business. Clause number 6 is about soliciting client. Clause number 7 is about advertising. Clause number 8 is communicating with the predecessor. Clause number 9 is taking appointment in a company. Clause number 10 is about the fees. You cannot take percentage of profit. Clause number 11, you cannot go with other occupations. And clause number 12 is about signing. So these 12 clauses are known as minor offenses. For a practicing chartered accountant, I'm talking about it. Now, important is why they are minor. Because they are not damaging the user. I am snatching work from my professional colleague. It's not going to harm the third person. So our internal harmony, if we want to create, it will be created through minor. It will be created through the first schedule. We need to follow that so that our professional harmony could be maintained. How could I expand my practice? Today's subject is this only, and it's very interesting to discuss upon this, that how could I expand my practice? In our time, coming as a practitioner in 1998, I am talking about. So what was the methodology to develop a practice was, I'm talking to youngsters right now, and that is the only way today itself. That's the best way to enter into practice. When I became chartered accountant, my boss offered me that we have a good relationship in our articleship, and you were the good article, best article for me. So why don't you join my firm only? I said, yes, sir, I will join your firm. And I worked with him for 6 to 8 months, 10 months. And then I got an opportunity. See, why I said yes to my boss? Just because my earning should start as I became chartered accountant belonging to a middle class family. I must earn. So for that, I have started my practice with my boss only. After 6 months, I got an opportunity. I met him, sir, I got this much opportunity from a firm which is giving me an opportunity to deal with their internal audit department. And you know, I have interest in internal audit department. So that is a big firm of Indore, which is offering me to become an internal auditor. So let me join that firm. My boss said, yes, you are free. You can join that particular firm. I joined that firm. I worked in that firm as not a partner, as an employee, and I had took permission from institute to be an employee of practicing chartered accountant. It was a general permission at that time to become employee of the practicing chartered accountant, and I became employee of a chartered accountant firm, and I was conducting audits. And a very genuine firm that was, they are offering me that whatever internal audit you conduct, so it will be absolutely your responsibility to conduct these internal audits with the audit team, and we will offer you say 40% of the fees which is coming there. Means if that internal audit goes out of the firm, you will have a direct loss of 40% of that particular internal audit fees. That genuine relationship was there between me and my firm, and by that firm made me responsible to hold all those internal audits. If one of them goes away, that will be my loss. Today I have found chartered accountants who are expanding their practice, and they are hiring chartered accountants, and they are hiring chartered accountants on fixed basis, just to reduce the burden and just to reduce the share what they are getting. Sir, if you don't quote, and my firm in which I was working in Indore was charging 10,000 rupees per month in 1998 for an internal audit. Let me tell you about it. And today I am finding the new chartered accountant firms, big chartered accountant firms, they are not charging handsomely as an internal auditor. And if you are not charging handsomely, how can you pay to the newcomer great remuneration? And if you don't give him good remuneration, you cannot have good staff with you. If you don't have good staff with you, there will be rotation of staff, and your practice could not develop. Practice could be developed only by sharing, not by salary. Let it be very clear. I am saying to everyone, and all seniors of mine are at present agreed to this, that they had this kind of practice. Sharing is the only way. No other formula is there to let your practice grow. Don't bind yourself with the monthly salary of a staff. If someday client will go, how are you going to pay, and why client is going out of your portfolio? Because he's not satisfied. So there is clause number 1, which allows us that we can expand our practice through only practicing chartered accountant. Either that practicing chartered accountant should be my employee, or that chartered accountant should be my partner. It means I cannot allow another practicing chartered accountant to practice in my name if he is not my partner or he is not my employee. Why this clause has been inserted in Code of Ethics? Because if you have no strong relationship as an employer and employee, if you have no strong bonding as partners, then all things will be short-term arrangements, where the other person whom you hire will use your name, and whatever he is doing, you don't know, because he is not your employee, he is not your partner. So his acts are beyond your control. And ICAI never likes, ICAI will never like this, that your practicing associate is out of your control, out of your direction, out of your supervision. It should not be there. So very interestingly, to maintain the quality of practice, ICAI inserted this particular clause number 1, that if you are allowing a person to practice in your name, he must be either your partner or he must either be your employee. That's it. You cannot have a third kind of arrangement where you can allow any person to practice in your name. There is a logic behind this, and it's an international best practice. You can expand your practice only through chartered accountant in practicing, having COP, either your employee or your partner. You cannot expand your practice even by employing chartered accountant who is your employee but not having certificate of practice. That's very important. So clause number 1 clearly mentions that you want to expand. If suppose I appointed some chartered accountant, non-chartered accountant to me, he came to me, sir, I need some work. I said, okay, mera board डाल ले और बैठ जाओ. This is again called violation of clause number 1. We cannot do so. If I do so, it will be a minor misconduct. Minor misconduct means a board of discipline will sit and ask me, and if I am found guilty, they can debar me from practice for maximum 3 months, and they can penalize me for maximum 1 lakh rupees, and they can reprimand me. But a stigma will be there that a disciplinary action has been taken against me. That is clause number 1. Clause number 2, how should I develop my practice? Can I give referral fees? So clause number 2 clearly mentions that a chartered accountant in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he pays or allows or agrees to pay or allow directly or indirectly any share, any commission, any brokerage from his fees, professional fees or profit to a person who is not a chartered accountant, who is not his retired partner, who is not his deceased partner's legal representative, and who is not a person having qualification as sanctioned by ICA. So clause number 2 is all about how should I give referral fees to others to expand my practice. Very simple. New chartered accountants and mid-sized firms also. How we can expand our practice? First of all, we can have sharing with our practicing members. It means practicing members can suggest our name and they can ask for referral fees, and we can give referral fees. They can accept referral fees. We have this arrangement, formal arrangement within 4 corners of law. It is allowed to give referral fees to my fellow colleague. That's it. Under clause number 6, it is also allowed that a practicing chartered accountant can write letter to another practicing chartered accountant and can ask that if you have overflow of work, you can give me. That is also allowed under clause number 6. Clause number 2, it is allowed that if another chartered accountant in practice gives you work, you can give him a referral fees. So the chartered accountants who are getting older and older and who want, and they don't have a next generation to have their practice to continue, they can have good arrangement with youngsters that they can delegate their whole work, they can assign their work, they can sell off their clients to them, and they can get the referral fees also. Why not? We can have this. A whole generation is getting retired, so and a whole new generation is getting involved. Every year this happens. So why don't we have this kind of platform? And now this new council had came up with the CA Connect. Why don't we use the CA Connect to find the good and dynamic and competent chartered accountants to give them work? No problem at all. So we can have this. I can share the fees with the retired partner. I can share the fees with the legal representative of deceased partner. But one thing should be very clear. In this era of Corona, we have lost around, I think 600 members. Roughly, I'm getting this particular figure. It's a big chunk. It's a big chunk we lost. Big chunk we lost. So we lost around 600. If I'm not wrong, I think we have lost this much chartered accountants with us. 600 claims. No, sorry, 600 claims we have received in CABF. Some of them were related to deceased members. In Indore itself, we got 12, 15 chartered accountant we lost during Corona. So I think this figure is there. So if we 400 to 600 figures somewhere it rounds. So if we have this much figure with us, so there might be cases where the partners are deceased. How to help them? Humanitarian grounds are at their place, but we need to take care that whether there is a clause in partnership deed to share the fees with the legal representative. If we do not have this clause in partnership deed which says that we should share the fees, continuing fees with the predecessor, I'm afraid you have to refund the whole amount of the capital of that partner to their legal representative, because you cannot share from your fees. That is a point. And I should request everyone to revisit the partnership deed. Do we have this clause in our partnership deed that if any of the partner dies, immediately there will not be any payment of the capital, but we will pay, if he agree or she agree, we will pay the amount of profit out of the business continuously even after his death till these much years, whatever we want to have, we must have one clause in our partnership deed. I should request each and every partnership firm to revisit the whole partnership deed and find out this clause of death of partner, whether we have this particular clause in the deed that we will going to pay to retired partner. And if we do not have, we have to immediately pay the whole capital and his interest to his legal representatives. Otherwise, we have to take that particular thing as a loan and we can pay interest on such capital. That's the point. But we cannot share because they are non-chartered accountants. So one has to be very clear on this particular figure. Just as the came in between talk, I just talked about this deceased one. Then we have so many clients with us, so many members with us with whom we can share. Recently, a multidisciplinary firm can be created with company secretaries, cost accountants, chartered accountants. We can have multidisciplinary firm. Modalities have came. We can share with them. Even we can share with engineer, we can share with architect, we can share with BTech, MBA, provided they have obtained their degree from AICTE, that is All India Technical Education, All India Council for Technical Education. The same thing is there that we can accept share from these 8 people. We can accept, we can refer client, being a practicing chartered accountant, we can refer client to company secretary, to LLB, that is advocate, we can refer client to advocate, we can refer client to cost accountant, we can refer client to chartered engineers, we can refer client to chartered architects, we can refer client to MBA firms, we can refer client to BE firms, structural engineers and all. We can refer them to our client and can get a referral fees out of their fees also. This is how we can build up our practice. We can have good associates with us. Suppose you have entered in an association with company secretary, you have in your association a cost and works accountant, you have in your association an MBA, you have in your association an architect, engineer and all. Why that particular synergy will not work? Let me know. Why not these 6-7 people when come and make a multidisciplinary firm and giving umbrella service in one roof? I don't think there is a single doubt over the success of that particular firm. The only hesitation is the whole earning will not be of mine. And that's what I said as ethics is a line between deed and greed. Why not we should share fixed expenditure? Why not we should share our staff? Why should not we should share our work? Let's grow together. Have a multidisciplinary firm. Clause number 2 and clause number 3 are allowing you. Even clause number 4 amended now. You can enter into partnership with these guys. So, what kind of an interface could be created amongst the chartered accountant firm? So let me explain you that what kind of synergy we can have. So we can have a chartered accountant in practice as our associate. We can have company secretary in practice as our associate. We can have cost accountant as our associate. We can have advocate as our associate. We can have BE, BTech and MBA as our associate. We can refer their name with our client. They can refer our name to their client. Why not that particular synergy could be there? Let's have that. I always believe that if I am practicing into internal audits, why I need to practice in GST? Why I need to practice in taxation? Why I need to practice in finance? Let's associate other chartered accountants with you. He will take all his income tax clients. He will take only all his finance clients. See the synergy. Doing an internal audit, I was the most benefited person when in a partnership firm, because a partner who goes to get the finance for the entity, big finance of 100 crores, 50 crores, 40 crores, he will ask that particular client, do you have an internal audit system? Otherwise, I will not get you finance of these 200 crores. Who is going to take care of this finance? And suddenly that client comes to me that you have to do internal, because he has a security in his mind that he is not going to snatch my income tax client. Now, why I am going to snatch your income tax client? I'm just delivering my services. That's called the need and greed. So whenever you have greed, you will definitely going to break the laws. And if you have need-based expansion is always welcome. Greed-based expansion is always a infringement of code. So whatever arrangement you need to have in your firm, it should be permanent in nature. No temporary association is required if you want to grow as a firm. Temporary arrangements are never ever required. Permanent arrangements, permanent relationship. And why to enter into partnership? Let us be like associate for 5 years. And if you found that yes, we are doing very nicely and our harmony is excellent, then come and join as a firm. Making a firm, mind it very carefully what I'm saying right now. Making a firm for tendering purpose is the biggest and dubious planning the firms are right now having. Youngsters are developing firms having 10 partners, 15 partners. One of them is DISA, one of them is forensic auditor, one of them concurrent auditor. Big firm without client, made only for the sake of what? Tendering process. 15 partners sitting in 15 different cities, sitting in 15 different cabins, doing their own work, made a big firm just for sake of tendering. This cannot work, dear. Whatever fixed expenditure you are going to incur, what kind of arrangement you are going to incur, it will never make you a large firm. Never ever make you a large firm. If a firm wants to become big, it can become big on its own competence and not collective competence of paper. I'm repeating it again for all youngsters. If you want to become a big chartered accountant firm, you should be big at your competence. We should be big at our skills. We cannot be big on paper. And if you are big on paper, you will remain big on paper, not big at all. You will be virtually big, not actually big. Because our ethics allows us a framework within which we can develop ourselves. In between all this, one thing came suddenly, and that was BNI, Business Network. So what that business networking is there? Hurry, when this BNI came, I asked everyone, are you an Ola Uber driver? Why you are going with an aggregator? How can you pledge a hard-earned degree to a businessman? How your values are allowing you? Are you such in hand-to-mouth condition that now you need a broker to get you client? Are your skills are not enough to generate client? Are your business relationship with client, your work towards client is not enough to develop the practice? Is it so that in India, there are thousands of colleges which are producing lakhs of chartered accountants in market and throwing the chartered accountants in market so that the work is getting now? No, I found nothing in that of that kind. We are not producing lakhs of chartered accountants each year. Why this greed is there to become big in year? It takes years to make a strong practice. No gimmicks will work at all. All seniors of mine can endorse my view. Nothing will work, no tricks, no gimmicks, nothing. Only your own competence will work. And I have been there into certain firms who made themselves big. And the second mistake, which is with BNI. What is BNI? Sir, he is aggregator. What he is doing? He is giving me work. What he will do? He will cut certain percentage with that and give me that particular work. Very good. Is he chartered accountant? No, it is a company. Then, sir, you have violated clause number 2 and clause number 3. Sir. How can you have a business arrangement with a non-chartered accountant? Sir, so many chartered accountant registered there. So you are a chartered accountant. You have a law. You have an ability to interpret the law. You cannot go with crowd. If he is becoming member of BNI, he is earning, so I should become member of BNI, I will earn. So he will become member of BNI, he will earn. Why, sir? You are chartered accountant. Just go through your code of ethics, clause number 2. It does not allow you. Only 8 persons are allowed. But sir, if we will not do that, somebody else will do. Is it need or greed? Somebody else will do. That's why I should do. Is this need or is this greed? That's it. मुझसे एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बोला, सर पैसा कमाना है कि नहीं कमाना? मैंने कहा भाई पैसा कमाना है तो पैसा कमाने के 25 तरीके हैं. अभी आ रहा है वो रमी खेलो, अभी कमा लो उस पे. पैसा कमाना है ना, it is your object. So why you choose chartered accountancy profession only to earn money? Money will follow you, sir. Just wait. You can't print money here. It requires a lot of skill, a lot of competence to develop to earn money. And everyone has gone through this phase. You have to go this phase. 5 years gestational period is there. You cannot shorten it by any means. 5 years gestation period is there. अरे पुराने लोग तो ये बोलते थे ना, 1000 days तो एक बिजनेस को दो जमने के लिए, तो चलो 1000 days दे दो अपनी प्रैक्टिस को जमाने के लिए। दैट्स गुड। 1000 days पेशेंस तो होना चाहिए ना एक प्रैक्टिस डेवलप करने के लिए। 3 years it will, and 3 years working in a single direction dedicatedly definitely give you result. What you are doing 6 months going in this direction and seeing that other one is getting more money, you are diverting towards that. Then you come here, oh no, I'm again here. Then you say, oh, he is earning in that particular area. This is not a way to practice, sir. It's not a way to practice. We have to go ethically. We have to go in time-bound manner. We have to dedicate ourselves. We have to go with conviction that yes, in this field I'll develop. So that is the way. We cannot go to BNI. BNI is another point. Fourth problem, which I have found in many of the firms, why they have they could not develop with themselves. Because once I am sitting on a chair, I did hard work for say 25 years. Now I am growing my firm. So I introduce new chartered accountants to my firm. And what I did, बहुत काम कर लिया यार, अब बैठ के आराम करूंगा। 4 चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट काम कर रहे हैं ना, इनको करने दो। मैं अब आराम से बस ये देखूंगा ये कर रहे हैं, क्लाइंट से मिलूंगा, इधर उधर घूमूंगा, सब कुछ करूंगा। सर, ये युद्ध का मैदान है। सेनापति युद्ध के मैदान में चाहिए, सेनापति नहीं बैठ सकता पीछे। आप ये भूल जाइए कि मैनेजिंग पार्टनर नाम की कोई चीज है। यहाँ तो सभी वर्किंग पार्टनर है सर, मैनेजिंग पार्टनर कोई है ही नहीं। मैनेजिंग पार्टनर को भी वर्किंग पार्टनर की तरह जुट के काम करना पड़ता है, अदरवाइज द फर्म विल नेवर गो। और अगर बढ़ भी गई तो जिनके दम पे बड़ी है वो डिवीजन कर देंगे फर्म का, और आपके पास मैनेजिंग करने के लिए भी कुछ नहीं रहे। अपनी फर्म में अपनी वैल्यू बनाए रखने के लिए आपको फील्ड में रहना पड़ेगा। That's it. Nothing else will going to make your firm becoming big. You need to be there always. You are part and parcel of that firm. Why you made that firm big? Just to detach yourself from the firm? No, sir. Just to be there in the firm. We need to be, we are professionals. We can't be managing partners. We can't be businessmen. Then what will going to happen? In that empty time, in that vacant time, in that period, what you are going to do, sir? Let me share you. यार मैं आजकल खाली रहता हूँ, प्रॉपर्टी का धंधा कर लेता हूँ। You will divert yourself into property. You will divert yourself into share market. You will divert yourself into cryptocurrency. You will do everything which can bring you losses because you are not master of those fields. So better to have yourself on the seat of chartered accountant, an active partner. Managing with active partner. सेनापति तो युद्ध से बाहर जा ही नहीं सकता सर, प्यादों के दम पे तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता। So that is all from my side for code of ethics. Just to expand the business, I have been asked to deliver my talk over how to develop a practice. I have shared out of my experience and out of the experience I gained through various cases which came to me relating to code of ethics for consultation, that why this our partner had separated himself and all that. There are so many arbitration cases also come from various chartered accountants. So that is a point. One question come to me that a chartered accountant can have. Which kind of arrangement you are asking about? Can you please explain that? Which license you want to have? It was just blinked and just go away. Can I have one more?
Aseem sir, let me read a question for you. Abhijit sir is asking, can a practicing CA hold CHA license, custom house agent license?
See, custom house agent license can we have? Now, what custom house agent is doing? Custom house agent is getting the clearance of the import and export materials. If I am not wrong, with my little knowledge of export import, I'm just talking about. So, clause number 11 does not allow us to become custom house agent. Even they cannot make us to become any sort of agent for anybody else. We can become agent for, we can represent a client before someone, but we cannot become representative for many clients for a purpose which is not related to our profession. That is the point. So we should not have a CHA with us. Your private limited company, if a different entity is there, that entity can enter into that CHA license. Because we have refused for DSA license, we have refused for mutual fund license, even we have allowed you to become a merchant banker, but merchant banker be asked for not more than that. So I don't think this will be allowed. Still, I'll refer the code and get back to you again.
May I request all the participants to put your questions in the Q&A tab so that it would be easier for the MOC to collate and present it in front of the speaker. A humble request, there is a Q&A tab at the side of your chat box. So please put your questions in the Q&A tab.
Thank you, Amrita ma'am. One more question we have, sir, from Ritesh Surana. Just a minute. Can a practicing CA can enter into a consultancy partnership firm, non-audit?
See, you can enter into firm of consultancy, no doubt about it, with whom you want to enter. Right now, we have allowed with company secretary. Right now, we have allowed with cost accountant. Right now, we have allowed with advocates. But after that, the modalities are not there with us. So if you want to enter into a consulting firm, you can enter, and the other partners would be either advocate or company secretary or chartered accountant or cost accountant.
Sir, one more question we have from Zui.
Yeah.
Can a CA give reference to bank agent for client to avail loan and receive reference fee?
Can you again repeat it?
Yeah. Can a CA give reference to bank agent for client to avail loan and receive reference fee?
No. We cannot do this. We cannot have referral fees from other than these 8 people. I'm saying is company secretary, cost accountant, advocate, MBA, engineer, architect, BTech, these 8 people with whom we can share, and we can share from their fees. Now, this broker who is generating finance for bank or for client, it is not allowed unless and until he is not amongst these. And amongst these, that is not a practice which is allowed to share. That's what I'm asking.
So next question we have from Vinod. Can a CA be a connector for private bank?
Connector for a private bank, again you are getting fees and you are soliciting clients for that particular bank, which is not at all allowed. We cannot become either an insurance agent or a DSA or any type of connector for a bank, because we are developing their business on referral fees.
Okay. Next question we have is in practice, how to learn new areas. Say, for example, from audit to transfer, I guess pricing लिखना था उनको. Audit to transfer pricing to expand the practice.
It's very important. The various proprietorship forms are there. I'm just sharing it. That I met one fellow in Chhattisgarh when I was on audit. So he had done something great. He had made a survey of the Raipur chartered accountants, and he came to a conclusion that our fellow members are not expertise in these particular areas, and these particular areas client has to go either to Indore or Bhopal or Mumbai. He made himself, he went to Indore firm to have an exposure, came back to Raipur, said all the chartered accountants, sir, I was there in 2 years in Indore in this firm, and I went there just for having this particular specialization, and I'm in Raipur, so I want to develop my practice. All chartered accountants have helped him, and why a client should go out of Raipur and going to anywhere else. So he developed his practice in the niche areas. So you have to develop a niche area and market yourself to other chartered accountants, sir, that this practice you are not. Just find out the list of chartered accountant and their practicing area, and then contact with one-to-one basis and get the firm established. There is no harm in that. That will be a great association you can have.
Rightly said, sir. Definitely. Sir, we have a few more queries. Queries from Ashwin. Can we share our fee with other practicing chartered accountant for work done by other CA, even if other CA is not a partner or employee?
Yeah. See, you are not working on his behalf. He had referred you a client to practice. आपको उसने एक काम दिया है, आप वो काम कर रहे हो, आप ही बिल करोगे और उस बिल में से आप वो रेफरल कमीशन उनको दे दोगे. There is no harm in that.
Okay. Now next query we have from Pratiksha. Can a practicing chartered accountant become broker of Zerodha or such type of company?
No.
Next query is, can a CA who is a karta of his HUF run a business of leasing or any other as a karta in the name of HUF?
Oh, if you are karta accidentally, because you are the eldest son and you are in practice and you are not involved in the firm, so you need not to worry about. You just intimate to ICI, though I am karta of this particular business firm, but I am not into business. Just because I am the eldest son, I become karta. That is the only thing. And if accidentally a business comes to you to run, because nobody else is going to take care of that HUF business, and you are HUF of a karta, you need to go for a special permission to executive committee that for 1, 2 or 3 years, I need to get permission for 2 or 3 years to spend there in my business so that the successor will come and have that. So that is there.
Okay. Next query we have is, can a practicing CA enter into a partnership firm only for consultancy services with CS for non-audit purpose?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Next query we have is, can CA do investment and other consultancy after obtaining NISM certificate?
NISM certificate you can obtain, but you cannot. You can give services to your clients only, because portfolio management services are not allowed for a chartered accountant. But yes, investment advisory services are allowed for chartered accountants.
Okay. And the last query we have, can we avail free listing service on website like Just Dial? Is there any restriction on font we can use on letterhead and other stationery?
You can enlist yourself in Just Dial. You can enlist yourself in Ask Me. You can just you can add your name in everywhere. but there should not be any fees to be given to that entity for giving you preference, that if any call comes to me, you have to bolte hain wo, that their business model is that if you pay this much, we will, whenever client will come, we will suggest your name. So if that kind of service they are giving, we should not avail that. Otherwise, your name could be in just no problem at all.
Okay. And the next query he is asking is there any restriction on font we can use on letterhead and other stationery for firm name?
There's no restriction unless and until it is not illegible. All sort of fonts are available. There is no need to have that. You can have that. Your color, your letterhead should be somewhat professional. That's it. Nothing else.
So we have one last query. Member not in practice. So is it mandatory to intimate becoming Karta of HUF or trading in derivatives? No.
If you are not in practice, nothing.
Okay. So I hope everyone is clear about.
I was just taking one more query which came to very lighter note, whether ICAI is following the ethics. So, sir, my मतलब ये बहुत स्वाभाविक है, बहुत एक ह्यूमन नेचर है कि मुझे एथिक्स फॉलो करना चाहिए या नहीं. तो मुझे एथिक्स फॉलो करना या चाहिए या नहीं, ये मेरा डिसीजन होना चाहिए. It should not be influenced by anyone else. So if someone else is not following ethics, I should not follow ethics. That would not be the ethics. Then it will not be an ethics, it will be a practice. So we should have ethics within ourselves. Thank you very much.
So thank you. We have one last query. In case of advertisement, agencies like Sulekha, they offered slab-wise fees for client procurement. Is it allowed?
Aggregators are not allowed at all.
Okay.
There are so many firms, so many aggregators are there, so many facilitators are there. We have not yet allowed anyone.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for giving us insights and valuable information about Code of Ethics. And now I would like Amrita ma'am to give vote of thanks to Aseem ji.
Thank you so much, Sukanya. How can I really thank you enough, Aseem ji, for your time on the evening and the wonderful experience sharing. It will go in a long way for the young members, especially the mantra that grow big with your competence was the mantra for the day for the youngsters. And of course, we would like to host you soon, very soon at Pune, and whereby you can cherish the nostalgia and we can learn a lot from you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much once again.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And now we have with us a versatile and dynamic and a young chartered accountant, CA Shraddha Dedhia. Hello, Shraddha ji. How are you? A good evening to you and a warm welcome.
Hi, I'm good. Good evening, everyone here. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to hear Aseem sir live. It's my pleasure to hear it.
So now I would like to introduce Shraddha ma'am. Shraddha has 8+ years experience in indirect taxation and finance, speaking and training professionals. Currently, she is working with a startup as an associate director finance. A favorite amongst her audience, Shraddha has been a speaker and a trainer for various professionals like CAs, MBAs, CMAs, CS, LLBs. She has trained more than 10,000 professionals at ICAI, BCAS, CVOCA, and study circles across India. Shraddha has been consulting professionals on building their digital and social media profiles like LinkedIn, Twitter, Quora, Google My Business, websites, etc. She has also been contributing articles on various soft skills and digital branding topics at a renowned professional publication like BCAJ and CVOCA. Thank you, Shraddha ma'am, for coming here. We are very excited to learn about these things. And I would like to request Amruta ma'am to please address a welcome speech to Shraddha ma'am.
Yeah, Sukanya, I'm equally eager to hear about the digital branding.
Yeah.
Of course, while meeting the expectations about the ethics. So can't really wait now. So over to you, Shraddha. And I can vouch that the interesting presentation which she has made is going to be a guiding force. It will navigate for all of us to present and make our professional branding in a better way. Over to you, Shraddha.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Shraddha ma'am, please continue.
Yeah, thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic. And I'm sure after this session, how we look at building our brand on various social media will change. So I'm very excited to present this here. Basically, what is the purpose of this session is all of us believe that the code of ethics that we have restricts us to be on social media. However, that is not the case. What I'm going to discuss here is, of course, we'll support it with code of ethics, and we'll see that why it is important to be on various social and digital media to develop your brand and build yourself as a brand. I know, I'm sure people would be thinking there, practicing players would be thinking here that ours is a profession that runs morely on word of mouth, and maybe we are not required on social media. So I totally agree that we do develop through word of mouth. But again, it is important that we have our presence on social media. I'll give you a simple example. Say you are having a wedding function at your place, and somebody recommends you a particular photographer. They say that this photographer is amazing, and I don't think there's anyone better than him, etc. But then you will still feel that you want to see the work that he has done, maybe check his YouTube or Instagram to see what kind of pictures he has clicked or how good he is before getting him onboarded. Similarly, when a potential client hears good things about you from, say, a fellow CA or a fellow professional, we will still feel the need of going to Google and search about you. And if they do not find anything which is relevant or particular, there are chances that we won't be able to convert that potential client into our client. Hence, having a social media and professional presence becomes very important. So the session here is Professional Branding 2.0, a digital push from CA to digital CA. So a quick disclaimer that the PPT is prepared considering the code of ethics and the ideas provided can be interpreted in a way that is convenient to you. We are not anyway connected to any of the digital platforms here, except that we are beneficiary of its amazing features. And यहाँ पे जो भी मैं features discuss करने वाली हूँ, those are developed basis our experiences and from using these platforms. And these have actually worked wonders for many of the professionals. So there is no thumb rule, but again,
Shraddha ma'am, sorry to disturb you, but शायद से आवाज आपकी कम आ रही है. So attendees have mentioned that the volume is low.
Okay, I'll just try and give me a minute.
Yeah, sure.
I think it should be better now.
Yeah, it is better. Definitely. Yeah.
So the features and amazing ways that I'll be sharing here, the strategies, are basis the experience I've learned from using these platforms. And there is no thumb rule, but these strategies will surely help you. So after the end of this session, I'm sure many of you would be writing that there are things that they didn't know earlier, and now they will start working on it. So the whole idea is to pass on the strategies that have worked for us. So without much ado, let's begin. So as and when I find that there are relevant provisions applicable, we'll discuss that, and then we'll discuss the various social media strategies. Firstly, Schedule 6 says First schedule clause 6 says that a CA in practice shall deem to be guilty of professional misconduct if he solicits client. So whenever you are on any of the social media, one thing that you need to take care is you are not going to market yourself. You are just here to show yourself as a good brand. So that is what your intention should be, to pass knowledge, to show yourself as a brand and not solicit or market client. It is improper for a CA in practice to state on his professional documents that he is an income tax consultant, etc. Again, we'll read it with first schedule clause 7, which says that it is not proper for a firm of CA to use the designation CA except on professional documents, etc. However, an individual member may use the prefix CA with his name. So basically, the whole intention of writing this clause here is that on various social media, you can make use of the prefix CA. So since it is allowing, the code of ethics is allowing, you should make the best use of it wherever on LinkedIn, Twitter, or other social media that we will be discussing here. What is branding? So brand is actually the way the outside world perceives your business. Brand is something that you don't speak about yourself, but somebody else or Google speaks about you, is what your social branding is. So जब जाके कोई श्रद्धा डेडिया Google करता है, and if they find something which is very interesting, then I will say that I have been able to build a brand for myself. Branding is the process of designing and building a unique, memorable brand and the strategy of telling potential customers what your business is all about. So since we are into profession, the whole intention here is to not solicit your clients. You cannot go on social media and say, come take these services from me. But again, strategically telling your potential clients what your profession or what your expertise is all about. It is very simple. If you are a GST expert, every now and then when you keep writing about GST, you keep sharing about GST on various social media, people will know that you are an expert into that particular field. So this is how you will build your brand. How you design and build your brand online through websites, social medias, apps, etc. consists of a combination of digital marketing and internet branding. So we'll see various branding options available to us. Why digital branding is important? This is something which we should know, and that will make you realize why you should be on various social media. So first thing is interaction. Interaction becomes very, very easy. So when I am talking to everyone here, it becomes very easy because you have questions, you will put it here, I will quickly answer. So interaction has become easy through digital branding. It has a global market. I'm in Mumbai and I'm taking sessions for people in Pune. Or maybe I have quite a lot of times taken sessions for people outside India. That is how I'm building a global market for myself. It has flexibility. Now, say you are choosing a digital mode, which is podcasting. So it has flexibility because the viewer can listen to it anywhere while traveling or maybe while driving. I can just switch on the podcast and I can listen to you. So that makes it very flexible. It gives you analytics and tracking results become very easy. So आप कोई भी social media देख लो, कोई भी digital mode देख लो, आपको analytics and results जरूर मिलेगा. Wherein you will find statistics कि आज आपके page पे या particular post पे इतने likes आए हैं या इतने comments आए हैं, इतने interactions है. And of course, it is cost effective. So the various digital modes that I will be discussing here, most of them are free. There could be hardly one or two which may be chargeable, but then of course efforts are something that we need to put. So it is very cost effective than the traditional modes that we were using. What exactly we are going to discuss here, or maybe get knowledge about, is the various modes of digital branding and the strategies that we can use on these various modes. So the first one is search engine optimization, which will have how your website should be. And if you have a Google My Business account, or if you do not have a Google My Business account, then this is the correct time to start building that Google My Business account. Then we'll talk about various social media available for us to brand ourselves, which will have LinkedIn, Twitter, Quora, Facebook, WhatsApp, content branding, which will have blogs, writing books, journals, articles, etc. And the last one is audio-visual branding, again, which can have webinars, seminars, YouTube channels. Podcast is something which is very new. Clubhouse and Twitter Space is again something which is very new. So we'll be discussing each one of these, and I will try to cover everything possible in an hour's, or maybe even a lesser time. And I'm sure after the end of the session, we'll have a little different perspective of how we look at digital branding. So the first one that we have is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization mode is nothing but using words on various digital and social media platforms which can enhance your search on Google. So imagine somebody goes and Googles chartered accountant in Pune. अगर आपका नाम उसमें नहीं दिखता है, or maybe if you are an expertise into GST in healthcare services, and आपका नाम अगर कोई Google करे और नहीं दिखता है, which means you have not worked on your search engine optimization. Now there is no violation of code of ethics because you don't have to market anywhere. Only when someone will search for you, they should get a definite answer, or maybe somewhere know that you are an expertise into it. And how do you build that SEO? On various social media platforms, your website, Google My Business, whatever you are using, start making use of words that people will actually search for, or that you want people to search for you when they Google. That is how you will enhance your search engine optimization. We'll go to the next slide. We'll see Icai guidelines. So the first thing in SEO is having a very crisp, a very important, and a very good website. ICAI has laid down certain guidelines. I have just tried to highlight few of the important points in the guidelines, that it should be on pull mode and not push mode. Information mentioned should not be circulated in any way, such as email, etc. There are detailed guidelines, and I would request everyone here that you read the guidelines and then also check if your website is complying to those guidelines, because that becomes important. One thing that I will highlight here is you can have a chat option on your website, because that makes it very convenient for the users when they come there. When you start asking questions on a chat box, that will make it make the user interface very crisp and very nice. So that will give them a satisfaction. You should know what is the purpose of your website. It should not be that you are selling your products on your website. आप website पे ऐसा नहीं लिख सकते कि आप मेरे से GST सर्विस को हम TDS आपका फ्री में फाइल करके दे देंगे. That is definitely not allowed as per code of ethics. Start describing your target audience. So if you have a target audience, say you are expert into GST on healthcare services, so start mentioning that on your website. That makes the audience comfortable when, or maybe when they are searching for you. If I am into healthcare, I'm a potential client. When I search, I should get your answer. So that becomes important. You should also incorporate your core values and how do you express them to your visitors. So that also becomes important when you are running a business, when you're running a website, and what you want your visitors to do after reaching your website. Should they read about you? Should they read about what work you have done, or what are the services that you are providing? All of that should be covered in your website. What do your current competitors' websites have that you wish to have? So this again becomes important. Sometimes your competitor's website might be having flexibility. It is very flexible to open the website on mobile phone, which your website is not having. All that becomes important when you are having a website. Now, this is something that you should definitely screenshot. What makes a good website? Firstly, it should be mobile friendly and easy to navigate. That is for sure. It should be mobile friendly, because these days people generally, when they want to search something, they will go to mobile and search, and if they find it difficult to maybe use your website on mobile, there are chances that they may press the back button and go to someone else, to some other CA's website. So it should be easy to navigate. Agar aapki website hai, so I would request people to maybe take feedbacks from others whether your website is good enough or it is mobile friendly. It should answer basic questions like what is your niche, because that will help you to enhance your search engine optimization. Agar aapka koi expertise hai, so don't mention on the website that ye mera expertise hai, but then you should try, and maybe what you can do is you can use the words which are specifically designed. So what we are trying to say is, when you are having a website, please clearly mention what is your niche. That becomes important. It should have professional looks. So a too much colorful website is full of creative stuffs, which doesn't look good when we are professionals. It should have some kind of professional look and optimized for search. So again, search engine optimization is something that you should definitely take care of when you are building a website, when you are having a website. So if all of this is not in your website, if it's not mobile friendly, this is the time you should start. So I have seen, there are website providers or website developers who develop website, and काफी टाइम ऐसा हो जाता है कि सबकी वेबसाइट्स सेम हो जाती है. So when I search websites, there are quite a few chartered accountants who have similar websites, similar services are mentioned. They have not really worked on what their expertise is. So that is something which will be a turn off if a potential client is looking at your website and they will not find it, something which is appealing. I want to know in the chat box quickly, because I want to make it an interactive session. How many of you here who are practicing do have a Google My Business account? So I've seen, I can see few of them do have Google My Business account. And I'm sure after this session, people who are not having a Google My Business account, this is the first thing that they will do. Google My Business account is nothing but an account that Google provides you, wherein you can mention about your profession, what are the services that you are providing, and how it can help you is, firstly, it will help you to improve SEO for your business web page, because Google My Business account is something which is developed by Google. So it is linked with each of the Google apps. So when someone Googles you, and if you have a Google My Business account, say you have mentioned your address in Google My Business account, chartered accountant, and you have also written Pune. And when someone searches for you, there are chances that Google will promote because you have a Google My Business account. So it improves your search engine optimization. It builds a brand by reviews received. So Google My Business account gives chance to your clients to write, clients or anyone, it could be your employees or your interns, anyone can put reviews for you without you asking them to do so. You cannot ask your clients to put reviews for you or write anything about it, because that is ideally not allowed as per code of ethics. But then clients can do them themselves. So whenever someone is looking at your account, they get this comfort because they are seeing at it at this is how some people are saying good things about you, that you are providing a really worthful services. You can add photos, videos, which gives comforts to clients. So if I am having a Google My Business account, I may put photos of my office or my partners, etc. So it makes it very interactive. It gives you someone who's visiting your profile some comfort. You can get valuable insight and reports, dashboards, etc. Makes it easy to get in touch by displaying contact and hours of operation. So it becomes very easy when someone is looking at your Google My Business account, and if they know that you are working from say 11 a.m. to evening 7 p.m. It makes it easy for people to know if you will be available at this time or not available, etc. And shows up prominently in search results. Now, say if I am having a Google My Business account, it will be linked to Google Maps as well. So, say if anyone wants to reach my place, or say someone in my building is guiding their guest to come to my building, they may just say that you just have to search. I'm just giving an example that XYZ Associates, and I stay exactly there. So indirectly, without you doing anything, since it is linked with various Google accounts, various Google apps, it will help you to rank high on Google search. So there is again no violation of code of ethics here, because you are just creating a Google My Business account. And ideally, if you ask me, I think this is the best thing you should do, because so I'll give you an example. And this is, we have asked them and checked. So whenever I search something, and if I do not get a relevant link which I can click, then I may be disappointed to proceed if I'm a potential client. So Jem Jain Associate is a company secretary firm. When I search it, I get a definite link, and I can go to that link and see what exactly they are doing. Same case doesn't happen with when I search Vivek Khandor and Associates. I get some random link. So when someone is searching for you, they're not comfortable. So if you have a Google My Business account, it will automatically promote your profession, your account, or maybe your place of business without you actually marketing about it. Secondly, what we look at it is the social media branding. I'm sure every one of us would be either on LinkedIn, Twitter, or other social media, but we might not be knowing why it is important to use the social media, or basically what are the strategies that we can use on the social media to start building a brand. Social media branding is nothing but use of social media platforms to connect with your audience. You are gradually building a brand for yourself. Now, I have more than, I guess, around 12,000 connections on LinkedIn, which I have gradually built, and I have started building a brand for myself. So whenever there is an update on some expertise area, I start posting it on LinkedIn and Twitter. So now my audience on LinkedIn and Twitter, they know that Shraddha would be an expertise because she has been posting it every now and then. I might not even search some relevant, some government maybe websites, but I know if I visit her page, it will be there because she is very quick and prompt. So that is how you will start building your brand on various social media. The relevant provision says that you can use the prefix CA with your name. So you may start using the prefix CA on various social media because that is allowed as per code of ethics. Members may appear on television, films, and internet and agree to broadcast in the radio or give lectures at forums and may give their names and describe themselves as CAs. Special qualifications or specialized knowledge to the matter of program may also be given. Firm name may also be mentioned, but it is important that we do not make any exaggerated claim or comparison. आप कोई भी social media या digital platform पे जाके ये नहीं बोल सकते. You cannot give exaggerated claims that I am the best service provider or I am the best GST service, GST return filing firm in particular area. That is not allowed as per code of ethics. So you cannot do it, or maybe you cannot compare yourself that we file better returns than some other firms. That is something which is not allowed, and you should definitely not do it on any of the social media. The first and the foremost social media that professionals should be on is LinkedIn. Why being on LinkedIn will help? Because LinkedIn has almost billions of users and lakhs of chartered accountants. So it becomes important that we have our presence on LinkedIn because there are various groups, and once you start posting about your expertise, about your knowledge on various groups, people will start looking at you as an expertise, and they will start looking at you as a brand for any particular service. So when I talk about LinkedIn, there are some quick strategies that I would like to show people. So this is my LinkedIn account. I told you I have more than like 12,000 connections, which I've gradually built using various strategies. Firstly, something which I will quickly highlight, which people are not using, making best use of it, is the background image. You have an option to have a background image on LinkedIn, and you can use it with text. यहाँ पे I'm sure if I ask people in the chat box, they most of them they will tell me that they do have a profile picture, but उनके पास background image नहीं है. Background image में आप कुछ भी डाल सकते हो. I have used text. You can maybe use some images that depict, or maybe you can use your logo, you can use your office picture, anything which speaks about you. So जब आके कोई देखता है, background image is the first thing that they will see on your LinkedIn profile. So वो अगर आपके LinkedIn पे missing है, that is the first thing you should do. LinkedIn आपको profile वीडियो डालने का भी ऑप्शन देता है. So if I show you my profile video quickly, I have added profile video here, which says that I am Shraddha Dedhia, chartered accountant, AD finance, etc. So you can add a 30-second video. This will make people comfortable when they see quickly 30 seconds में आप अपनी story बता सकते हो. Secondly, what I've seen is practicing CA, they generally do not make best use of the headline, which is this, the headline. वहां पे सिर्फ practicing CA लिख के छोड़ देते हैं. That will not help you in SEO, search engine optimization. If you have a particular something which is your expertise, try and highlight it here, because जब कोई LinkedIn पे search करे, से मुझे अगर एक particular service चाहिए, I want a GST services on, I want a chartered accountant who can provide GST service on say healthcare services. मैं वहां जाके वही ढूंढने वाली हूँ. मैं कभी भी जाके ये नहीं ढूंढूं कि practicing CA. So if you are not personalizing this, this is not going to work for you. So professional photo and background is something. Then headline, I told you, please have a detailed headline which answers who are you and what is your target audience. Create a summary that tells a story. I have seen ये जो summary होता है ना, summary section, most of them have just written a 2 or 3 liner. It says that it could be a 1 or 2 liner, assisted in XYZ or assisted in filing returns or have expertise in XYZ, etc. That is not what your summary should be. First rule, summary should always be in first person. आपको I, me, myself लिखना है. If you are having a LinkedIn page of your firm, वहाँ पे you can write in third person. But यहाँ पे you have to write something. Summary में people do not highlight what are the results that they have provided to their clients. That is something which again you should highlight here, because your LinkedIn profile is different from your profile that you share with your clients, from your professional profile. So results are very important to highlight here. आपके skills और specialities जो है वो आपको यहाँ पे लिखने हैं, highlight करने हैं, because when a potential client is looking at your profile, they would want to read about it, and this will also help you improve your search engine optimization. So that becomes important. Experience आपको detail में highlight करना है. I've seen again experience section, people just replicate their profiles or resume. This will not work. You have to work on it. You may write it something which is a 1-liner, 2-liner, 3-liner, which is fine, but you have to make it different from your profile. So I generally give this formula when you are mentioning your experience section. Just mention what you do, what are the results, and how can people reach out to you. Call to action is very important on LinkedIn. So you may drop an email, or you can drop your message on LinkedIn, etc. Results, possibly you can highlight here. What recommendations are something which people are not using on LinkedIn, and a potential client comes to your LinkedIn and they read recommendations about you. They will be satisfied. They will be eager to have you onboarded. So अगर आपके LinkedIn पे recommendations नहीं है, reach out to people, ask them to recommend you. Of course, I would avoid you to reach out to your clients, because this is debatable. People may say that this is violating code of ethics. If they are doing it samne se, then it's okay. But at least reach out to people with whom you have worked and tell them to recommend you on LinkedIn, write something about you on LinkedIn, This is surely going to help you. And when you have recommendations, LinkedIn promotes your profile on its search engine optimization. So when someone searches about it and if you have recommendations, LinkedIn has this feature that it will promote your profile. So this is something which again people do not make best use of it. When you start using, now LinkedIn is a topic which can go on for 2 hours, because I have been taking sessions on LinkedIn which are again too long for a really long time. So I have tried to highlight best possible way which you can make the best use of LinkedIn. Start writing your accomplishments. So if you have received awards, honors, or if you have written articles, you can write it here in publications or add your awards here. That will make your profile very strong, and be very regular on LinkedIn to start building a brand. That is something which is very important. I have, started building a brand because I've been very regular on LinkedIn. I start kuch nahi to agar if I am not writing something on my own, what I do is I write or I share kisi aur ka post. Again, that is fine, but be regular, interact with others' post. Now, after this session, maybe again what you may want to do is, this is an accomplishment. So you may tag Pune team and write that you have attended this session organized by Pune team. Tag Aseem sir, tag me, anyone, इससे क्या होता है कि उनके लिस्ट में जो है उनको भी आता है, and that is how you will start networking on LinkedIn, because your network is your net worth. I'm sure everyone here will agree that your network is your net worth. So tagging people on LinkedIn and Twitter is one strategy that definitely helps you to build a brand for yourself. This is how, adding education skills, certification. आपने छोटे छोटे certified courses किए होंगे. Education में you don't have to write it, but there is another category called certifications. Keep adding them there. This will help you to improve your search engine on LinkedIn. Again, Twitter is something which professionals should be there. I would recommend professionals to be there, because Twitter is a trend, honestly. So there are quick strategies. Follow profiles of your field and interest areas. Your own bio should be complete and should be professional. So if you are having Twitter and you are not having a background image, or your bio is too weak, you have not made the best use of it, there are chances that Twitter will not rank your profile in good terms. So you have to complete your profile, complete your bio, just don't be there. So if you are on any of the social media, one thing that has to be taken care is be a content creator as well, and not merely a content consumer. This is one rule. So we have been writing various articles on various social media and digital platforms available. So one thumb rule that we suggest everyone is be a content creator and not merely a content consumer. Use hashtags that are in trend. Share regular updates and share link with your contacts. If you had tweeted something, you can share the links with your contacts. All of these strategies will help you to build a brand for yourself without violating any of the code of ethics. Regularly tweet about the special area and tag concerned people. So again, if you are expertise in GST, make sure that you are putting it on LinkedIn and Twitter, every update that has come, so that people know that that you are a brand. I will give you a simple example. I have seen certain LinkedIn accounts which are very regular. It could be SEBI updates, MC updates, और income tax updates. So कभी भी कोई updates आता है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं income tax की site पे जाऊंगी, वहां पे जाके update ढूंढूंगी, download करूंगी. That will take me some time. Rather, I will just go to the LinkedIn or Twitter page of this person. I'm sure he would have uploaded it. So that makes my work very easy, and I have built a brand for someone else because he has been very regular on Twitter. So again, tagging people and using hashtags will work for you to build a brand on Twitter without any doubts here. And having a firm page will also make it look professional. So you have your own page, you have your firm page. On your own page, you can also tweet something which is of your interest. It could be cricket, Bollywood, politics, etc. But your firm page should be professional. It should be used to have only specific firm updates. I've taken some examples here. James J and Associates is a CS firm. So, again, they have unka personal page hai, unke partner ka, and then they have a firm page. So this is what I'm telling you, that you need to make sure that your profile is complete. If you have a website, please mention the website name. You can tag, on your personal page, you can tag your firm page, etc. There are few things that you have to make sure and take care while on Twitter. First is Twitter is a trend setter. Whenever there is a new trend, Twitter पे वो आ ही जाता है, वहाँ पे trend start हो ही जाता है. It can give you fame when you are least expecting it. Your single tweet can sometimes just go viral. You would not even know. And your whole purpose on being on Twitter or LinkedIn is not to get fame. That should not be a purpose, but to share knowledge and build a brand. But you may never know, that can also give you fame when you are least expecting it. So we are professionals. We should not go there to get immediate fame, but to share knowledge and build a brand for ourselves. You cannot sell anything on Twitter, LinkedIn, or any other social media. वो नहीं कर सकते, allowed नहीं है. You cannot write that avail, we are providing GST services, we are providing TDS services. That is not allowed. Be creative and interact with industry leaders. This is surely going to help you. I have seen chartered accountants or professionals who are having like 30,000-40,000 followers on Twitter or LinkedIn, because they have been very interactive with industry leaders, etc. So you may also be interactive. That will help you to build a brand for yourself. Twitter is powerful, but two-edged sword. So I have seen that Twitter पे लोग जाके काफी बार ICI के लिए कुछ गलत लिख देते हैं, that या पोर्टल के लिए गलत लिख देते हैं. I mean, fair enough, you may want to discuss that, but if you ask me, I would not suggest. You shouldn't do that for ICI. बीच में एक notification भी आया था, guideline आया था, which clearly said that you cannot degrade ICAI on any of the social media. If you are having any issues with how ICI is functioning, you should reach out to ICI, discuss with them, but not discuss on social media, because that brings disrepute to the profession and it is not allowed as per code of ethics. Be consistent and don't use Twitter without profile picture or bio if you want to create a branding. So profile picture is very important, that is indeed very important to on, and also have a really rich bio which can help you in building search engine optimization. Facebook is something which you may or may not be on, but again, why people are on Facebook and having a firm page is it has billions of users. So people are preferring to use Facebook, but again, it's your personal choice. If you are on Facebook and you are having a firm page, regularly share updates on your page, preferably supported by audios or visuals. Be interactive, start creating events and invite people to attend events. Say if you are having a particular webinar organized, so start creating events on Facebook and start inviting people. If you are having profile photo of firm page, should be professional. Preferably use CA logo or your own logo, because that is something which is very professional. Again, your working hours, address, etc., and how people can reach out to you should be mentioned on all social media. You can use the prefix CA in your personal account on Facebook. That is allowed as per code of ethics, so you can use the prefix CA. Quora again is something which I've seen lot of chartered accountants have not even used it. So if I can quickly know in chat books if people are using Quora, I will tell you that I have been getting clients on Quora by simply answering questions. मैं कुछ नहीं करती, and I don't go there with intention of getting clients. I just go and answer simple questions. और उससे I'll give you a simple example. Quora क्यों useful है? कल किसी ने एक query डाला था कि my turnover is XYZ amount. Whether I should register for GST, I am not sure. मैंने वहां जाके आंसर कर दिया that since your turnover is exceeding XYZ amount and your nature of services are so and so, you are liable to register for GST. So you should register. However, if you have any other queries, you may anytime connect with me. So that person, मेरे कोरा में मैंने मेरे contact details डाले थे. Send me an email that I read your answer on Quora, and since you said I should register, I would want to know if you can help me with registration. I said, of course I can help you with registration, and whatever, these are my fees, etc. यहाँ पे भी कहीं पे भी कोड ऑफ एथिक्स वायलेट नहीं हुए हैं. कोरा पे what you have to do is go search questions of your expertise, start answering it with the whole intent of passing knowledge. वहाँ पे again you cannot go and write that we are providing these services, please approach me. No, you just have to answer questions and let them know whether what their answer is, what their query is, and if you can answer it or not. वहाँ पे आप आंसर करो. In long term, I am guaranteeing you that you will start building a brand. People will look to you for answers. People will upvote your answers, and that is how you never know, you may get some potential clients later. So most of your again have a complete profile, relevant, knows about topic, write valuable content. Sometimes not necessarily you just answer. You can also blog on Quora, which will help people know that you are an expertise into something. So जब Quora पे जाके कुछ specific topic कोई search करेगा, your blog may appear that you had written blog on registration under GST. So they may get an answer from you. Incorporate links where it makes sense. Quora पे आप links भी add कर सकते हो. Position your brand as a leader in industry. So again, if you are not using Quora, trust me, 5 minutes a day Quora, आप questions ढूंढो जो आपके expertise में है, आप उसे answer करो. Within 6 months, you will see you have started building a brand on Quora, and how people are looking for you to give an answer because they feel that you are an expert and they want to know answer from you. You are a brand for them. So Quora is going to surely help you to build a brand, and this is, there are only thousands of, hardly 3,000 to 4,000 chartered accountants who are currently using Quora. WhatsApp is again something which people are using. So you may join groups, you may start circulating updates on WhatsApp. That will again build a brand for yourself. Participate in discussions or share links. These are few quick strategies that help you build brands. If you are, in some groups and people are posting questions, if you have an answer to it, start sharing. Or if you have prepared some updates, why not share it on WhatsApp groups and let others then keep sharing it. So that is going to help you. WhatsApp for business. I've seen a lot of us who are not using WhatsApp for business, but using our own business WhatsApp account. So that is something which is not recommended. If you are, if you are having a firm, start using WhatsApp for business account because it has various features. You can have, you can provide your business timings. So if somebody messages you after 7 p.m., they will get an automated reply that, we are working only from 11 to 7. We have noted your query and we will answer you tomorrow. It has an auto reply option. You can add catalog. So we cannot add catalog because we do not sell services. But what I do is on my WhatsApp for business account, whenever there are new updates, new notifications, circulars, I add them in the catalog session. So उससे क्या मेरा brand कैसे बनता है कि अगर किसी को कुछ जानना है, they keep checking my catalog session and they know कि आज ये नया update आया है. किसी और को भी जानना है तो they will say that आप श्रद्धा का WhatsApp for business account देख लो, I'm sure वहाँ पे रहेगा. You will get your answer there. So you can start using that catalog options. You can start labeling to prioritize your work. It gives you option to label whether finished, whether pending, whether work in progress, or maybe payment is pending, payment is received. Labeling options भी WhatsApp for business में है. So you may want to use it. So, one good thing about WhatsApp for business is कि it is a different account. You just need another number. And once you start WhatsApp for business, you keep your personal WhatsApp different. So when your clients are on WhatsApp, उनको सिर्फ आपके WhatsApp for business account से updates मिलते रहेंगे. आपके पर्सनल अकाउंट में आप जो भी डीपी रखो, आप जो भी करना है, you can keep sharing. you don't want to keep, you want to be professional on WhatsApp. And something which I loved is, business profile, wherein you can add what is your firm, its address, exact, etc. There are a few quick strategies for WhatsApp for business. Keep separate number. You can stop replying post office hours. Activate standard messages when you are away. So when someone sends you hi, it will automatically send an auto reply. Use labels to prioritize your work. Use address communication features. So you have an option of mentioning address. So start using it. Start email का option है आपको. Website आप add कर सकते हो. So make the best use of WhatsApp. So whenever people look at your WhatsApp or business account, they get the basic details that they would get on Google also. So that becomes easy for them. So again, catalog feature do not use to sell anything, but you can use to announce deadlines, newsletters, etc. So catalog में आप डाल सकते हो कि say monthly calendar if you are in August. So August monthly calendar. तो अगर मैं क्लाइंट हूँ, मुझे पता नहीं है कि मुझे क्या करना है, मैं आपके व्हाट्सएप पे बिजनेस में आके देखूंगी आपने मंथली कैलेंडर में क्या डाला है. Okay, these are the compliances that I have to comply to in this particular month. I will have a deadline there. So start making best use of these strategies. Now we look at content branding quickly. Even I don't want to stretch it beyond certain time. Content branding is nothing but making best use of your writing skills. So you would be writing journals, blogs, etc., books or presentations. You are making the best use of it to create a brand for yourself. So it is not permissible to mention in a book or an article or a presentation any professional attainments. However, you may indicate in a book, article or presentation the designation CA as well as the name of the firm. So आप professional attainments नहीं डाल सकते that I have received this award or I've been rewarded with so and so, etc. All that is not allowed. But in any kind of written document, you can use the word CA. You have to be consistent. You have to, it can do indirect lead generation for you if you are writing good content, because people will know. अगर मैं एक ही चीज पे every month article लिख रही हूँ, तो my audience will know that I am an expertise into it. I'm sure यहाँ पे जितने लोग article books लिख रहे हैं, they will agree to this, that this is building a brand for themselves. They are starting to build a brand without any violation of code of ethics. I would suggest avoid boring tax updates. If there are, due date extend हुआ है, तो avoid boring tax updates that due date has been extended. Rather, you can support it if something की extend हुआ है, इसके साथ something is clashing. How do we manage it? Let us see something like that, which is quite appealable, because content writing में, something which is more than just written text will definitely work. So this is a strategy that we share with everyone. Your content needs to go beyond normal writing. It can include FAQs, it can include guides, videos, etc. Infographics is something which will make you stand out from others. So when you are using infographics, it is firstly easy way. आपको अगर टैक्स का ड्यू डेट एक्सटेंड हुआ है वो बताना है, rather than just writing a text, उसको image में बना दो and share it on WhatsApp. People find it more appealing and they may start circulating it. I'll give you a simple example. यहाँ पे 10 benefits of filing income tax return ये दिया है, इनकम टैक्स की वेबसाइट पे है. यही चीज अगर मुझे कोई टेक्स्ट फॉर्मेट में देता तो आई वुड हैव फाइंड इट बोरिंग, आई वुड नॉट इवन सर्कुलेट इट आगे. But since this is more of a pictorial infographic format, I find it appealing. I'm sure every people will agree here. कि ऐसा it's more easy to read. It is readable. It is better when it is in infographic format, and they are engaging. Infographics are engaging way to educate client and prospects and share knowledge. And once you have published any write-up, it could be an article, it could be a book or journal, anything, what you need to do is लिख तो लिया, blog लिख लिया, उसके बाद क्या? Send an email to your newsletters list, whoever opted for it. LinkedIn पे या other social media पे उसका link डाल सकते हो. Maybe make a video of that write-up or record an audio as podcast. Podcasting is the new trend and people are into podcasting. They just बहुत ही चल रहा है, because I may not find it better to read. मुझे पढ़ने का time नहीं है, but वही चीज मैं कार में बैठ के सुन लूंगी because I get the traveling time. So record it as podcast, share it on social media accounts, and maybe have your relevant staff also share links to such blogs. Audio visual branding, again, appearance on e-media is allowed, but then you cannot make any exaggerated claims. You may have educational videos, but it should not contain contact details or website address. Public interviews may be given, but you need to make sure that you are not giving any exaggerated claims or highlighting your professional attainments. You may also organize training, seminars, etc. for the staff. However, undue prominence should not be given to the name of chartered accountant. Now, audiovisual mein there are a few quick things. So one is webinar. So you need to identify आपको अपनी brand कैसे बनानी है. If you feel that you are someone who loves to write, then you may use the content branding way to brand yourselves. आप articles लिखो, journals लिखो, books लिखो. If you are someone who loves to speak, then start taking webinars. Webinars will help you to build brand because it will help you to position yourself as an expert. It is an indirect way of soft skills. So you are nowhere soliciting or marketing yourself. But if you speak on a particular topic, the audience will know that you are an expertise into it. You may never know कि आगे जाके synergy options मिल सकते हैं. It has global reach. Interaction हो जाता है. आप webinar लेते हो, interaction is very easy. And of course, it's the new trend. So audiovisual branding, if you love to speak, then start taking webinars. Trust me, just I can vouch for it. If you take at least 5 to 10 webinars, you will see how people have started recognizing you. You have started building a brand for yourself. So that is something which will definitely help you. YouTube is the new trend. We did see in Code of Ethics that in any educational videos that you upload on YouTube or anywhere else, contact details you cannot share. So YouTube पे आपको contact details share नहीं करना है. Strategies I have highlighted here. Why it is important to now be on YouTube is, firstly, YouTube helps people know that you are an expertise. So आज अगर मेरा client है and or maybe anyone else who wants to know कि how to file a GST return, if they go and read it, the FAQs or the guides on GST side, they might find it a bit boring because it is very elongated. वो पढ़ने में बोर होता है. उसी चीज का अगर मैंने YouTube पे वीडियो बनाया है, if they search a video, उनको live मिल जाता है that how to file a return. So it becomes easy for for someone who is watching it. They can watch it while traveling. They can watch it at any time. So that becomes easy. And if you start uploading regular videos on YouTube, there are chartered accountants or maybe firms who are on YouTube, and they have started recognizing themselves as a brand in an amazing way. So YouTube can definitely help you to build a brand for yourself if you follow certain strategies that we have highlighted here. And the last thing, Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse is the new trend. So if you are on Twitter or Clubhouse, and if you like something which is live discussion, what we generally do is, if there is a notification, we start a Twitter Clubhouse. We ask people, whoever wishes to join, either on Twitter Spaces or Clubhouse, people join and we discuss about it. कि आपको क्या लगता है कि ये notification का क्या impact है? Maybe do you think this circular should have this circular is a valid circular, or what are the flaws do you find here? It is an open discussion forum, but it helps to build a brand for yourself when you are using it. So trust me, start doing at least 2 or 3 Twitter Spaces or Clubhouse. After that, you will realize that how people have started knowing you, because Twitter and Clubhouse has millions of users and it is the latest trend. People come live, they discuss, and they make a note of it, they circulate it. It gives you a very good visibility, which is indeed required. So again, this is something which has to be, to be in trend, you have to follow this. From my part, I have tried to cover whatever possible which I could do in an hour's time. and would love to know feedbacks from people in the chat box. What is one key takeaway from the session, or if this session was useful? I've been taking this session on various platforms, and if there are feedbacks, we would love to take it. If there are questions, we would love to answer questions.
Thank you, Shraddha ji. Definitely the session was very informative, I must say, and I'm sure everyone would agree on that. And the presentation was just mind blowing. It was up to the mark and very informative. Thank you so much for giving us insights and giving us new information which we were not using before. Definitely we'll try these things, Quora and everything, LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn. Definitely we'll try all those things. And attendees, if you have any question, please put it in the chat Q&A section so that it will be easier to find. I guess one question we have from Sumit Kulkarni is saying, can we share link for review to clients, which will be optional?
No, ideally you should not do it, because that is not allowed as per code of ethics. What I suggest is, if if your clients do it themselves, then it's okay. But at least have your relevant, if you are on Google My Business, at least have your relevant staff share ratings for you. I think that is something which is allowed, but only if clients does it on themselves, then it is okay. You should not solicit client to do that.
Oh.
I'm very glad that people are finding this useful. I'm happy to read the chat box. Take a session on LinkedIn. I think I would love to take a detailed session, because LinkedIn itself is a 2-hour session. So anytime if given a chance, I would love to take session.
Shraddha ji, एक और question है. Is it ethical if we put services or key skill in headliner on LinkedIn?
Okay, so this is again, I have been getting these questions at various platforms. I did speak to people from ICAI team, committee team as well. They said that there is no issue as such in putting it, but then there are chartered accountants who are reluctant doing it. So you cannot highlight something which says that I am an expert in GST. You should not do that, but you may simply mention GST services, something like that, but do not claim something which is in exaggeration. That is not allowed.
Okay. And everyone is asking for your presentation, Shraddha ji, because definitely presentation was just amazing. Amrita ma'am, can we have presentation of Shraddha ji? Because attendees are asking for it.
So if Shraddha permits, definitely we can share it with the participants, and the session would be uploaded at our YouTube channel as well. So participants can go again and again and get the doubts clarified and seek the tips which she had shared.
Yeah, definitely. So attendees, this session is going to be uploaded on the YouTube. So in case if you don't get the presentation, definitely you can have a screenshot while watching that YouTube video, definitely, and get the information which you all need. And I would request Amrita madam to please present vote of thanks to Shraddha ji.
Thank you so much, Sukanya. It's indeed my pleasure to propose formal vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing team. Shraddha, it was an amazing session, I must say. And as discussed, we can have a session specifically for LinkedIn, and definitely change is the only constant. And to practice with these many hurdles, the code of ethics has placed. We cannot say hurdles, but the controls. So you have definitely added to the ideas which can be used efficiently in a subtle way and without abiding, without going out of the code. So thank you, big thank you on behalf of the entire organizing team, Shraddha. Look forward to meet you in person sometime very soon. And yes, the presentation would be shared on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you, Sukanya, for being a wonderful MOC, and the chat box is running throughout. So Shraddha, you will have to come once again.
Definitely, we would love to see you again.
It was our pleasure. And all the participants, you are a wonderful audience. Thank you for the encouraging comments and the question and answers. Take care, stay safe, and thank you, Reshma, for being a wonderful technical support. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shraddha ji.
Thank you, team, for inviting.
Thank
It was
you.
our pleasure, Shraddha.